Ron Wotus. You don't see this from Randy Rodriguez. You really haven't seen it all season. He had just walked 3 batters heading into this 9th inning today. He ends up walking 2, and things fell apart for the Giants.
Yeah, that's the disappointing part, is when you beat yourself. And he had 2 walks in the inning, uncharacteristic, as you said. Schmitty, that ball took a wicked hop on him. It hit the lip and bounced up. That could have been a double play, and the game would have been over, and we would say, here, they did it again. But unfortunately, a rough inning, over 40 pitches. I thought Baumel played it right. He was the guy to stay in there. And I guess you got to tip your hat to Arcia for getting the big hit. He got the big punch out, right, with the bases loaded, but then got a fastball away. He just got the bat on it. So that's a tough loss for the Giants. You know, there's a lot of tough losses during the season. This is one. You're going into L.A. You're playing so well. But all in all, there was a lot of good things in this game we'll get into. Birdsong threw well. Walker threw well. And there's other things that we can look to.
Yeah, the bats came alive also during this series. The Giants lose to the Rockies today. Let's get into the 9th inning because the Giants did lead the Rockies by 2 runs heading into the 9th. And this is where things fell apart for them with Randy Rodriguez on the mound. He did get Jordan Beck to fly out, and this was a really great catch from Jung-Hoo Lee. We've seen him do that time and time again.
It sure is. They've been wearing out that triples, that left center triple area there. That ball, that's the deepest part of that ballpark. He went a long way to catch it, so he must have been playing deep. Nice job.
Yeah, and this was a tough at-bat for Randy Rodriguez. He ends up walking Sam Hilliard and then Tyro Estrada against his former team with a really big double at the moment.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he didn't come up with that ball clean. They may have had a chance at second. Not sure it would have entered into it because the inning continued with another walk here. And Randy wasn't himself, that's for sure. And we put that on pitching in Denver. It's different. It's a different place, different animal.
Yeah, we saw that with Robbie Ray yesterday. Just the altitude can really affect you. It can affect how your pitches are delivered. And then obviously the defensive mistakes don't help and mess with you mentally as a pitcher.
Yeah, that's, you know, he got the job done there. Ball did come up. You know, you hope that he could at least get the 1 out and secure it, but he was unable to get an out, and that put him in a box. But he comes back with the big strikeout here. And, you know, Randy's closed in the minor leagues, so being there in the 9th didn't bother him. I just think he didn't have his command, the altitude, whatever. Everything feels different in Colorado. We talked about it. And there's the big hit from Arcia to give the Giants the loss and break the streak.
Yeah, the walk-off RBI single from Orlando Arcia gave the Rockies that 8-7 win. The Giants had been on the opposite side of that for so long. They were pushing for an 8-game winning streak. Their winning streak stops at 7 as they head in to L.A. with the all-important series against the Dodgers. This is going to be the first time this season, as you know, that the Giants and Dodgers have faced off. It's the longest into the season that they've ever gone without seeing their divisional rival.
It feels crazy, but if you look back to like interleague, before interleague play, you played them 22 times, right? Then it went down when interleague came in, they played them 16 times, and now they're only playing their division rival 13 times. I'm not complaining because I think the balanced schedule is good. The Dodgers is a good club. You get to see everybody. I think the fans like it too. But it really is odd not to play the Dodgers. Maybe they should let us play the Dodgers a few more than everybody else in the division because it does bring out the best in I think, the fans. Everybody wants to see that. I know us as coaches and players, you always get up for that rival. And it's exciting to play the Dodgers.
It is going to be as intense as ever as the Giants and the Dodgers are 1-2 in the division sitting atop the NL West right now. Let's get a wrap of this game. It was a crazy one as we send you back inside the broadcast booth with Dave Fleming and Javi Lopez. Dave?
All right, Laura, thanks. Well, look, a lot of good things for the Giants this week here. Ultimately, Coors Field did get them. And we saw it in every one of these games, the toll that it can take on a pitcher pitching here, and for Randy Rodriguez, it just kind of wore him down today.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, right? The numbers coming in, 3 walks, and the guy who's just been so dominant all season, pitched himself into that rally, and 40-something pitches, 5 full counts. It's a tough spot to be successful like that in this park. They could have had some pitches back, but those walks, ultimately, those walks will kill you.
Yeah, and it happened not just Rodriguez in this series. The walks were damaging when the Giants issued them. You give the Rockies some credit for fighting hard, and you go to L.A. instead of tied for first place, a game behind the Dodgers. You regroup, you try to recover, and get ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fantastic matchup. And I think, again, you can't hang your heads here. You're used to one-run games. You just weren't on the wrong side of this one today. But I think what you looked at some of the production in the middle of that lineup. I think you're starting to see some guys swing the bat a little bit better. The pitching, now you're going back to some moisture in the air, so I think they'll be happy about that. But overall, you lose the series, you lose one game, you win the series, and that's ultimately your goal every time. Win the series, and they did it.
Yeah, so the 7-game win streak comes to an end. Disappointing end to a good series in Denver. We'll talk to you soon, Laura.
Dave, Javi, thank you. We have been focusing in, rightfully so, on the negatives in this game, but there were a lot of positives from today. The Giants putting up 2 crooked numbers, scoring all their runs in the second with 4 runs, and then in the fifth with 3. Let's get a look at our play of the game. This brought to you by Toyota. Those 3 runs came off of the bat of Dominic Smith. The Giants had a 4-2 lead heading into the fifth, but 2 on, no outs for Dominic Smith, and Senzatella leaves the changeup over the plate. You know what Smith says. He wants some gravy with that biscuit, Woody.
That's right. Gravy with that biscuit. I like it, Lori. And this should have been the hit of the day. It turned out they weren't able to hold on to the lead, but the Giants go up by 4. The previous inning, Colorado scratches 2 runs, and he comes right back to steal the momentum with a 3-run home run. What a day he had. 3 for 4, 3 hits, 2 runs. We're all set to talk to him after the game.
Yeah.
And a great day. I mean, he's really injected some life into this offense since he's come here. He's played good defense. But that was the hit of the game right there. It's a shame the Giants couldn't hold the lead.
Yeah, when the Giants made all those roster moves, he was in the Yankees minor league system, ends up signing with the Giants with that major league contract, and that was part of what sparked this turnaround for the Giants offensively. And speaking of, let's get a look at what's hot. Here from Bob Melvin right now, a tough, heartbreaking loss for the Giants as the Rockies avoid getting swept. Let's listen into Bob Melvin right now.
Yeah, I mean, we had two defensive plays that affected the inning. Certainly one that might have been a double play ball, out of the inning. So little things like that we've been pretty good at, especially in these tight games, ended up costing us today.
What happened with Ramos on the ball that Tyro hit?
I didn't see it. I was blocked in the corner. I think, did he overrun it, or I'm not really sure. I didn't see it.
Looked like he was trying to cut it off, but didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy, I've given out like 3 walks all year. He gave out 2 in that inning. What did you see kind of going on with him?
They made him work. He had to throw a lot of pitches. Once he got struck Goodman out, I felt really good about him getting through Arcia. But, it was almost 50-50 strikes to balls, so that's usually not like him. If you haven't pitched here much, things can be a little bit different for you. The break on your breaking ball, the ride on your fastball. There's some uncomfortableness to it if you haven't pitched a ton here. Still, we had a chance to get out of the inning.
What can you say about the performance that you guys got from Dominic Smith today, just the lift that he's been able to provide since he got here?
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, quality at bats that kind of different level of we talked about, almost like flow, where you're not trying to do too much, and then if you get a pitch you can drive, breaking ball in the middle of the plate, he can hit the ball to the ballpark too. But really good at bats almost every time up. So he's been a really good addition for us.
How do you assess Birdsong today?
We're great. I mean, threw over 100 pitches. We needed to push him. We were really limited in what we had. We used today. So to be able to give us 6 innings, throw 105 pitches, which is like 125 here, it feels like, that was a key for us up to that point, is giving us 6 innings, and obviously left with, at the time, a comfortable lead.
Nice to see Logan Porter kind of chip in too in his first start.
Yeah, I thought he did a nice job, handled himself well behind the plate too. I know we didn't win the game, but catching all these different guys that you've seen them in spring training. Didn't feel like there was any uncomfortableness. Gets the signs, knows what guys' strengths are. I thought he did a good job. Obviously we lost the game, but I thought he did a good job.
It's What's Hot. This brought to you by Service Champions, heating and air conditioning. Since Bob Melvin was just talking about it, we'll pick up that conversation. Hayden Birdsong, the starter today for the Giants. It was his 5th start of the season, his 5th start since coming out of the bullpen for the Giants. He goes 6 innings today, allows the 3 earned runs. His walks were down 2 compared to the 5 in his last start, strikes out 6. Now, this was his longest outing of the season. You heard Bob Melvin talking about the 104 pitches. I think that's a good sign, showing that he's got the depth to be able to do that, and especially at Coors Field.
I like the fact that Bo Mel ran him back out there for the 6th inning. He could have shut him down after the 5th, but he realizes anything can happen in this ballpark, and you need to keep that bullpen fresh. He's not thinking about L.A., but we did have, as he said, a few guys down. There may be a few guys down now going into L.A. He wanted to stretch Birdsong, and that 6th inning, he had a really good inning, despite his velo went down to 93. He was at 95, but he pitched well. The first well-hit ball, or first hit, was in the 4th inning, and that should have been an error. So the miscues today and the walks affected the game, but Birdsong, I thought he did a real good job, located his fastball, attacked the hitters, over 50% first pitch strikes.
I also liked that he was tested and able to get out of a few jams there, too. That's always, later on in the season, can pay dividends for a starter when they're in those pressure situations. Let's take a break here on Toyota Giants Postgame Live. The Giants fall to the Rockies. The Rockies avoiding that sweep with a walk-off win over the Giants today, 8-7, the final. We'll take a quick break. We're coming back. We'll show you the NL West standings, and we'll also catch up with our friend Rod Brooks.